Hi guys, how are we all? Hope we're all doing really well. I miss your faces. I miss hearing what you've got to say. But we've got this and we can do it this way. So we're going to have a little chat. We're going to chat about mindfulness, and I want to remind you that this is who you are and this is where you live. So you want to make sure that your thoughts are good and happy. It's the same as when you've got a nice clean room, you feel really good, and when it's all messy, you feel a bit messy. Make sure that your thoughts are not messy. Try and make them as good as you can. Reminding you what mindfulness is, it's about keeping in the moment, not thinking about the past, not thinking about the future, but just thinking about the moment. So, different ways that we can do that. And I've gone through some ways with the preps. I've got some notes here just so that I can remember what I've told everybody. With the preps, I went and got them to get a toy, and we used all our five senses: our sight, hearing, smell, taste, and feel. We didn't taste it, but you can use taste as one of your senses. With the grade 1 and 2, we did like rubbing our hands together really fast, clapping our hands, feeling what that feels like, squeezing different parts of our body so that we can feel what that feels like, that's staying in the moment. What else did we do? Washing your hands, playing different games like smelling games, and eating with your other hand that you're not used to eating with, and just seeing how that feels. Going through remember we did an activity on the eating where we just stopped and we listened, like if you had rice bubbles, whether they crackled, and tasting it, notice where we feel that taste in our mouth, smelling it, feeling that swallowing, how that goes down in your throat. But what I wanted to talk to you guys about was about being grateful, and I know that it's something that you do when you're at school, and that your teachers will be talking to you about it, but just a reminder about being really grateful about different things. And I'll write down below these different things to remind you about, but writing them down every day is a really good way of seeing these things, but also when you're writing them, feeling what you're writing, not just writing them because you've got to write them because you want to really feel grateful, which is part of making up here nice and clean and healthy. So I've got some notes up here. I'm just going to look at them. So you can write things like, I am grateful for, and out of your family, what you're grateful for about your family, or your friends, what you're grateful for. Your qualities, the different qualities that you have. Your talents, what talents you have. Something nice, being grateful for something nice that might have happened to you. That's a really good thing to remember. Something you love in nature. So something that I love trees. I really love looking at trees, and I love big trees. That's what I like looking at. Some people like looking at flowers. Some people like looking at ants. Ants are great to go have a look at ants, and be curious about what they're doing, what their job's doing, what are they hunting for or gathering for, what are they building, and just watching what they're doing. That's really good, and it's a great way of staying in the moment. Or looking, if you like flowers, looking at the flower, looking at the colours, watching them blend, being curious about it, asking questions like, I wonder why this leaf's dead and this one isn't dead, and noticing where it is in the garden, what's around this flower. What you love to do, just different things you really love to do, being grateful for the fact that you get to do those things. What you love to eat, those different things, because that's a sense that we have. So those things that you really love to eat, being grateful for those things. Maybe the best thing that you've learnt today. You might have learnt something that you think, wow, I'm really grateful that I now know this and I'll remember this. And it would be a good idea to make like a little first aid calming box. So when you feel like you're getting a little bit anxious or worried or angry, or going to your calming box, putting little notes in there, like you might be using that breathing technique where you breathe in, pause and breathe out, breathe in, pause, breathe out, doing that technique, and maybe putting that little note in your calming box if that works for you, or it might be something that you like to feel or play with. Maybe you have a fidget spinner or something soft and squeezy that you like. Putting those things in like a little first aid thing. And when you feel like, oh, I'm feeling a bit anxious, or I'm feeling a bit cross, or impatient, or go getting your little first aid box and just going through there, putting little notes and to remind you on the things that keep you nice and calm. Also, too, you could put like a stop sign at your toilet door or your front door, and every time you put your hand on the handle, that you take really deep breaths, 5 really deep breaths, so right at the bottom of your belly till you feel your ribs stretching at the side. And that also continues to help you practice to keep in the moment and to keep nice and calm. And remember, when we're doing that, we're making strong connections in our brain. But of course, we all love to lay down and relax, so I want to do that for you. So go get your pillow and we'll do a relaxation. Talk to you soon.